Our chief guest this afternoon, the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja Majegere. Permit me to acknowledge the presence of the other colleague ministers who are here. I think in due course you will be introduced. The Deputy Director General of the Universal Postal Union, who has just left the podium, my brother and my sister, the PAP Secretary General and the Assistant Secretary General who run the affairs of PAPU, our permanent secretaries, our ambassadors. Let me acknowledge our team in Dar es Salaam, Ambassador Mwesije, and in Arusha, our sister, the CEOs of the ICT regulatory agencies from across Africa, and all of you distinguished friends, ladies and gentlemen. Right Honorable Prime Minister, allow me to sincerely thank you for finding time to be with us this afternoon as we convene to open the 11th ordinary session of the Pan African Postal Union Plenipotentiary Conference. Your presence underscores the high priority that the government of Uganda attaches to the postal sector as a strategic pillar of our socio-economic transformation journey. Let me also add my voice to honestly welcome all of you who have traveled from the different corners of the continent and the world to gather here in Kampala, Serena Chigo, on the shores of Lake Victoria. Many people who speak English, they usually tell guests feel at home, but I'm not sure how your homes are. Sometimes our homes may have problems. So I want to say, feel at the Serena Chigo here on the shores of Lake Victoria, because here I am sure we are at peace and comfortable and we have no problems. So I don't want to say feel at home, but feel at here, Kampala, Serena Chigo. But once again, welcome. Some of the ministers have just arrived now, like my brother from South Africa. She has just arrived. My sister from, welcome. My sister from Zimbabwe arrived early this morning. So, very welcome. And our brothers from Tanzania and Zanzibar, the ministers, they are here. So all of you feel welcome. And we are happy to receive you and to host you here in Kampala. Across Africa, the postal sector today stands at the intersection of digital innovation and physical connectivity. It is a sector in transition, reshaping itself to respond to new technologies, evolving consumer expectations, and the growing demands of trade and integration. And indeed, that's why the Prime Minister asked a rhetorical question: do we still need postal services? And it's a question which runs in the minds of many people. And the answer is yes. We are not allowing the postal services to die, especially as technology evolves, but postal services have to transition and fit into this technological revolution that is going on. Uganda is therefore proud to host Africa's distinguished postal leadership at this important moment. As a continent, we gather here to deliberate on how best to modernize, strengthen, and reposition our postal systems to meet the opportunities and the challenges of the digital age. Through you, Right Honorable Prime Minister, allow me to extend my sincere appreciation to the entire government machinery for the unwavering support rendered towards hosting this conference. Such support reflects Uganda's firm conviction that the future of postal services is not peripheral, but fundamental to expanding trade, accelerating digital transformation, and strengthening both national and regional economic competitiveness. Distinguished friends, allow me at this moment to extend a warm welcome to my brother, the Deputy Director General of the Universal Postal Union. Your presence here today is a strong affirmation of the importance the global postal community attaches to Africa's postal sector reform agenda. And we want to once again say, welcome to Uganda. Our chief guest, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, this potential conference is a policy-making platform of the highest order. It carries the responsibility of setting strategic direction, refining governance frameworks, and shaping the future of Africa's postal ecosystem in a rapidly evolving global environment. For Uganda, hosting this conference reinforces our commitment, playing an active and constructive role in regional and international postal governance as exemplified by the following. At the regional level, Uganda engages actively through the East African Communications Organization, EACO, framework, working to harmonize regulatory standards and strengthen cross-border postal and courier operations within the East African community. Uganda is also privileged to serve in the leadership of the Pan African Postal Union through the Office of the Assistant Secretary General, currently held by my sister, Madame Jessica Hope Sengoba, who now offers herself for re-election. She has served one term and served very well, and she's now our candidate ready for re-election for her second and final term. This position reflects the trust that member states have placed in Uganda's contribution, continental postal advancement, and institutional strengthening. And we shall be holding elections before the end of this conference, and you are all welcome. Remain here until that important activity. Right Honorable Prime Minister, at the international level, Uganda was recently elected to the Council of Administration of the Universal Postal Union, UPU. In this capacity, we participate directly in shaping global postal policy, governance reforms, and strategic initiatives. Our election as Uganda signals growing confidence in Uganda's leadership and strengthens our resolve to contribute meaningfully to global discussions on postal sustainability, digital transformation, and market evolution. What then does Uganda seek to achieve through this engagement? First, we demonstrate that postal transformation is achievable within emerging economies through deliberate policy reform, regulatory clarity, and targeted investment in digitization and last-mile infrastructure. Second, to align our national postal and logistics development agenda with regional integration frameworks, particularly within the East African community and the broader African continental free trade area, so that our systems support seamless cross-border trade. Third, to reaffirm our commitment to innovation-driven growth and harmonized continental cooperation in this vital sector. For Uganda, therefore, the postal system is not a peripheral service. It is a critical national asset. It underpins public service delivery, stimulates economic activity, and connects citizens to opportunity. Although its operational model has evolved in the digital era, its policy relevance has not diminished. If anything, it has become even more strategic. This rapid evolution calls for deeper collaboration among African states to adapt to and harness emerging technologies. It is precisely for this reason that this meeting in Kampala comes at such an opportune time and at a very important moment. Once again, allow me to extend our sincere appreciation to the Pan African Postal Union Secretariat, the Uganda Communications Commission, headed by my brother Nyombi Tembo, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Posta Uganda, and all the partners who have worked tirelessly to organize this conference. I want to express my appreciation to the team, the Ugandan team, that has worked day and night to ensure that we have a successful conference. Your collaboration demonstrates that what can be achieved, demonstrates what can be achieved when institutions unite behind a shared continental vision. Before I invite the Right Honorable Prime Minister, you heard that my title is Minister of ICT and National Guidance. So I have a mandate to always guide, both in Uganda, but also when we receive guests like you. And I'm going to guide as follows, especially for those who have come from outside Uganda. That shall not be enough to say I have been to Uganda when you have just been to this hotel, because Uganda is much bigger than this hotel, Serena Chigo. Now, when Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, visited Africa, and this is not to annoy the African brothers and sisters, he traveled all over Africa, and when he went back to Britain, he wrote his experiences in Africa and described Uganda as the pearl of Africa. So I know we have many countries represented here, but it's only Uganda that he described as the pearl of Africa. So once again, welcome to the pearl of Africa. Those who come from outside Africa, we usually proudly say, even when you visit Zimbabwe, South Africa, Tanzania, you say, you have not been to Africa, not until you have reached Uganda, the pearl of Africa. So even you, the Africans, you have now reached Africa, the pearl of Africa. And what made Churchill describe Uganda, the pearl of Africa, is not necessarily the Kampala or what you see here. The beauty is beyond and outside Kampala. So I would like to guide that you change your itinerary, you make adjustments to your tickets, so that when the conference is over, you go to see for yourselves the pearl of Africa, the beauty. Whether you take the western route or the northern route or the eastern, that's when you appreciate that you have been to Uganda. If, for instance, you go to western Uganda, you'll be able to see the mountain gorillas. You have heard of the mountain gorillas. They are only shared by 3 countries: Uganda, Rwanda. Is Rwanda here? Maybe they're not yet here. Then DRC. Is DRC here? DRC. But you agree that most of the families of the mountain gorillas are in Uganda. And actually, where the mountain gorillas are is the community that I represent in Parliament. So I am the member of Parliament who represents gorillas in the Parliament of Uganda. So you have the opportunity to come and see the mountain gorillas, the climbing lions. The climbing lions, you can only get them in the Queen Elizabeth National Park in southwestern Uganda. There was a report that in Serengeti National Park, there were climbing lions, but the trees which are climbed by lions all fell down. So it seems you have the lions without trees. So, and many, many, many other things. And that's true if you go to northwestern, the north. The beauty of this country lies in those areas outside Kampala. So I guide that those of you who wanted to fly back on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, make adjustments and be able to tell the story when you get back home, that you have been to the pearl of Africa. Once again, welcome and feel at Serena Chigo on the shores of Lake Victoria. If I say feel at home, you assume your home is as good as this environment.